we had a plan based on equity in that land. It was based on addressing those systemic issues of racism, income inequality. You go down the list. We were already focused on it. But what's made me even more appreciative of that plan during this time is that 2020 has been like nothing we could even script in a horror movie. But it's been extremely helpful to be able to have a plan to remain focused on. So as we're dealing with the uncertainty and the complexities of 2020 that we didn't anticipate, while we're dealing with what's needed in our immediate response to these challenges, on the other hand, we're still working a One Atlanta plan to make sure that we're closing that income inequality gap that I mentioned, that we're dealing with criminal justice reform, these long-term challenges and issues that our communities are calling upon us to address. But at the same time, having to balance that with the day-to-day, really having to recreate how we manage our day-to-day city operations based on where we've been with the social justice movement and with COVID-19.
So Mayor Bowser, picking up on that front specifically, both of your cities have a long history of activism. They have a long history, candidly, of inequality as well. So what are the next things you have to do as a leader to ensure that the work that you're doing now continues?
Well, let me be clear, Jason. Our country has an experience with inequality. And I think part of the racial reckoning that we're experiencing across our entire country is dealing with those systemic issues that are bigger than a local government response. And they are going to be bigger than 2020. You don't erase all of the things that have kept certain groups in our country, African Americans specifically, from gaining wealth, from having a fair shot in education and job opportunities, from making sure that we're scrubbing our criminal justice system so that it is fair and non-discriminatory. So those things, when we're doing that together as a nation, and we have that leadership at the top, and we have people in all levels of government working towards those ideals. The ideals are important, but the practice and the policies are even more important. So we're focused on that. In our city, we are, like Mayor Bottoms has mentioned, we've crafted our entire reopen plan around equity. Not everything that we've learned from COVID is bad about how to reorder government. We know that we have even used our emergency programs to have more equitable outcomes for businesses and people. So part of our reopen plan looks to equity as one of its key pillars.